On today's episode, we are off to Supernova Comic-Con and Gaming Convention in Sydney. For myself, I've been traveling around Australia going to these cons for quite a while now, and I just thought I might document this one now that we have the channel up and running. So one of the main reasons I love going to these conventions is because of the meet and greet with the celebrities that they get. So you get a photo opportunity, you get an autograph opportunity, and just a bit of time to hang out and have a chat with them. But the convention has so much more. There's toys, there's artwork, there's authors that come over, there's cosplay, amazing cosplay that you'll see. So let's just jump straight into some footage and have a look at Supernova Sydney. So we started the day in the massive line outside. As soon as the gates opened, we all flooded in, and Sarah and I pretty much had to split up straight away, both to go stand in our hour and a half wait lines to meet people that we wanted to meet. Now Sarah was over there in a line waiting for Rebecca Yarros, who is the author of Iron Flame and many other books. Now Sarah was super pumped to meet Rebecca. Like I said, she had a bit of a weight on her hands, so she stood in line with many other people, book in hand, ready to meet her and get that book signed. I, on the other hand, headed down to the autograph area and the photograph section to line up to meet the one and only, someone I've been looking forward to meeting for a very long time, the T-1000, Agent John Doggett from the X-Files, Robert Patrick. So I was stoked to meet Robert. We were standing in his autograph line. He came out. I actually didn't get to get my autograph with him that first time because we had to leave to run over to get our photo with him. So it was good that Supernova held our place in line. We jumped over to the photograph opportunity, and that's where I finally had my first meet and greet with Robert Patrick. So this, as you can see, is my cool photo of him. I was super pumped. He looked like he was super pumped to be there. From there, I darted back over and jumped in line for the autograph again, where I finally got to just stop and have a little chat with Robert. So I picked the T-1000 photo, and I got that signed. I talked a little bit about how I've been wanting to catch him when he comes over. He seems to have done all the other states when I haven't been there in Australia, but I finally got to meet him. And we talked about Stargate, we talked about The Walking Dead, and how he's a pretty big sci-fi fan himself. So he also has a lot of Terminator memorabilia back in California at his Harley Davidson dealership. So if you're over there and you can go have a look at that, that'd be pretty wicked to see. But that was my opportunity just to have a little chat with Robert, shake his hand, thank him for coming out, and get my autograph. So autograph, photo, been there for an hour and a half, standing in line, running back and forth, but eventually, finally, we did it. So I was pretty pumped about that. So I went back and met up with Sarah. Sarah had her book from Rebecca Yarros signed now, so she was super pumped with that. She told me that she had the interaction with her, and the only thing she talked about was coffee. So Rebecca Yarros had posted the day before that she was having some of the best coffee that she's ever had at the Opera House here in Sydney, and Rebecca and Sarah both love coffee, so that was something that they clicked on and had a little chat about. But Sarah was so happy to have her book signed after waiting for so long, and Rebecca had probably the biggest line out of any of the celebrity guests that were booked for that weekend. Her lines were that long that they actually had to cut them off at certain times of the day. So yeah, I haven't read the books, but I heard they're fantastic, and from the lines, she is a massive international author for Australia. So staying with the villain theme from Arnold Schwarzenegger's movies, we've had Robert Patrick, the T-1000. We now go over to the 1985 Commando movie, where I got to go and meet Bennett, played by Vernon Wells.
John? How's your arm, John?
Come over and find out.
No thanks. I think I'll take a pass.
Now, Vernon was there in a panel with a whole lot of other guys from the Mad Max movies, but I wanted to meet him for playing Bennett in Commando, a great villain character up against Arnie in one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's biggest action movies there is. So had a good chat with him. He sort of told me a little bit about how he got the role, but you can see the photograph that I got signed. I asked him, why do you look so grumpy in that photo? And he said, a funny story was, he was just going to the toilet, Arnold grabbed him, put his arm around him, and they started snapping some photos. So all he really wanted to do was go to the bathroom, and that's why he looked so grumpy. But no, he said it was pure luck that he got that role, and he was over the moon that he got to take on one of the biggest 80s action stars that has ever been. So Supernova is huge. There's thousands of people, there's hundreds of stalls, there's toys, Unfortunately, there was no vintage toys, so there was nothing that I really wanted to add to the collection in that. But just wandering around, looking at all the artwork, looking at all the comics, I actually took one of my Simpson comics that I had, and I knew that there would be one of the comic artists there. His name was Dean Rankin, and I went over to him. I took my comic and just had a little quick chat with him, and just asked him to sign it. So I just thought that was a nice little piece to add to that comic, and just get a bit of history of that comic and knowledge. But one of the stalls and areas that I really love is the Star Wars world that they create. So they have vehicles there that you can take photos with, or you can get on, and they've got everyone dressed in all different Star Wars costumes. So you get to have all these photo opportunities. They've got lightsaber fighting, which I haven't done, but I really want to do. But in that Star Wars section, there was also a meet and greet opportunity for me. Matt Doran was there. So Matt Doran, you would know him as the Death Sticks guys.
You want to buy some death sticks?
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
From Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. So he actually tries to sell Obi-Wan Kenobi death sticks, and Obi-Wan Kenobi uses the Jedi mind trick to tell him, you don't want to sell me death sticks. And that's primarily his scene that he has. But the reason why I wanted to go meet him is because I had brought his Star Wars figure. So I had a loose figure of his with the bar that they were leaning against. So I showed Matt that, and Matt said he'd never actually seen it loose before, and he was pretty excited about it. He was showing everyone around. So he actually got that figure on card after they had done the movies and they released that figure. But he said he'd never opened it, and he'd never actually physically touched it. So that was a pretty cool thing. So I asked him to sign that bar, and also if he could write the quote, "Do you want to buy some death sticks?" on it, which he was more than happy to do. So that was really cool, and it was really cool meeting Matt. So as I said, there are hundreds of stalls at Supernova, too many for me to go through. They're also in different buildings. There's what's called the Artist Alley. So we headed over there, and we just started wandering through, looking at all the different artwork, all the different artists, comics, posters, authors. There's so many people there, and you just wander through looking at all the beautiful artwork. But something that jumped out to me was Street Sharks. Now, Street Sharks artwork is something I hardly ever see. So it was really cool to see that. And it was by an artist called Levi Kleeman. Now, he had 5 different prints there. And you'll see in the footage that these were like all the 4 brothers. And then you had Moby Lick was also there. But I wasn't in the right mood just to pick up some artwork, so I kept on going through the Artist Alley, just looking and enjoying everything else. But Sarah, she went back later, had a good chat with Levi, and picked up that artwork for me. So thank you, babe, for doing that. I really appreciate it. So we've got all 5 pieces of that artwork signed by the artist, and I just can't wait to frame these and put these up. Supernova, it's a great family fun day. I love it. I love the meet and greets. I love the Artist Alley. I love the cosplay. Now I have to say, the people that put so much effort into their cosplay and their characters, they have so much passion for it. And you would have seen throughout the footage, so many people do it. And that is one of the biggest enjoyments when you're walking around and you just see different people dressed as different things. So I just shout out to all you guys for all that effort. I think that's fantastic. But Supernova, it's only here once a year. I want to thank Supernova for putting on the convention. It only gets bigger and better, bringing out some of the biggest celebrities from TV and movies from around the world, all the way down to Australia, which I know is a long flight for most of you. So thank you to everyone that attended. For myself, my family, it's a great day. So hope you get to go there one day and enjoy it, and just live in that little world for a weekend. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and until the next one, happy hunting.